चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्वापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मायं ददां विषं पदाख्यं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीवतापदकमलं श्रीगुरु वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं सागरदातां सागरललिता श्रीरूपं सागरदातं सागररघुनाथं ततं संसजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देव श्री राधा कृष्ण पादा सागना ललिता श्री विशाखांसा हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपदे गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांत नमोस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विषभानुसुरे देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वंशकल्पद्रुभृक्षा कृपा सिन्धेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवाचार्य गौतम। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो पंकज नाभय नमो पंकज मालिने नमो पंकज नेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजाग्रे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृतं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वती व्यासं ततो जयमुदरे नष्टप्राय सुभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिभवत्यास्तुते। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपा तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरु दीनतारणं परमानंद माधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं। Hey Krishna, welcome all the devotees for Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. I seek blessing from all the devotees so that I can speak Bhagavatam in parampara for the pleasure of Krishna and the devotees and on my own purification. Today we will be reciting first canto, 19th chapter, the appearance of Sukadeva Goswami, sloka number 9 and 10, part 3. It's a very big sloka, so we will be covering the third part of it. So we can recite the sloka also. Atris Vasishtas Chavana Saratvan Arishtanemir Brihu Angirascha Parasaro Gatisuta Tarama Utatya Indra Pramak Etava Utavu Medatiti Devala Aristeno Bharadvaja Gautama Pipaladaha Maitreya Aurvaha Kavasa Kumbhayaner Dvaipanya Bhagavan Nardacha Atirir Vasishta Chavanas Saradavan Aristanemir Bruhu Angirascha Parasara Gatisuta Tama Rama Utatya Indra Pratap Etama Utavu Maitreya Devala Aristeno Bharadvaja Gautama Pipalataha Maitreya Aruva Kavacha Kumbhayaner Dvaipyana Bhagavan Nardacha Atirir Vasishta Chavana Sradavan Aristanemir Bruhu Angirascha Parasaro Gatisuta Rama Utatya Indra Pramad Etava Utavu Medatiti Devala Aristeno Bharadvaja Gautama Pipalataha Maitreya Arurva Kavasa Kumbhayaner Dvaipanya Bhagavan Nardacha. All these names are different sages who are assembled on the arena of Parishit Maharaj decided to depart from this mortal world. So it's very important, lot of message. Actually, why Prabhupada, Sukadeva Goswami elaborating so many names of the sages is just an example. If any function happening in a great person like Ambani house, there is a function. So you can see that lot of film stars and many politicians and so many people assembled. The great people are assembling because it shows that how great that Ambani. Similarly, when Ayodhya, the Rama deities were installation was going on, so many foreign delegates, everybody, it shows that how great the Rama. So similarly here also, why this sloka, Sukadeva Goswami is telling about so many rishis, we have to understand that how great Sukadeva Goswami is, Parishit Maharaj, the other side also, what are these great people who are assembled there? That is also, it's a, we have to understand that. So let's proceed on the part 3 part of it. It's very interesting. Also in this part 3 also we will be learning a lot of message from these great sages. So the quality of the body, which means when death comes, we have to leave this body. So actually this is a temporary. So when death comes, we have to leave. Each one of us is spirit-soul and different from body. So we are not this body, we are spirit soul. We have to leave this body. One is in knowledge, able to face the death, understanding that the time has come to leave this body. So one who understands that I am not this body, I am the soul, will be well matured. He is having knowledge. So at the time of death, he understands that it's a time for me to leave this body and take. Just like when we have a torn shirt, it's a time to throw it and wear a new shirt. So this understanding should be there. So many people in this Kali Yuga, they are not aware that they think that this body is their original and ever it will be there. So they go and other day one of my relatives was discussing. She went for a dentist and came back and she was little bit disturbed. She's around 65 plus. So she says, I lost all my tooth and all. I said that this is a warning. Should take it, okay, my body is getting retired. See, I also have white hairs. It's a Yamadharma is giving signal, okay, you are getting old. The specs, we are putting, so specs, that means you are losing it, tooth falling down. So all symptoms that you should get ready prepare to go back home, back to Godhead. It's a warning sign. So, but they are not understanding. If you see many people, if they see white hair, they'll put dye. If you have a power problem, they keep the lens. If you have dental problem, they put artificial tooth. So they are trying to making that regain the properties, but ultimately they cannot stop the death. One day it will knock. So instead of preparing for the death, they are trying to preserve that warning signals. So no use at all. That we have to understand from this sloka. In that sense, life is a journey. So life is a journey. It is a journey we have to undertake in order to reach the final destination. So many people think life is a journey. They use this quote for various purposes. But actually, why this is called journey? Because we have to ultimately we have to reach some destination. Whenever we travel, there is a definite destiny we have to reach. Just like Delhi you are traveling, or Calcutta, or Chennai, somewhere there is a destination where you want to travel. Similarly, the life also, in this life also we have to understand to be that our journey is to go to Krishna's abode. So that is the destination. So the journey is a process. The destination is more important. We have to set our mind, okay, generally people know when the student they graduate, there is this destination. If you ask, no, I have to go to US study for higher studies. So they fix their destination. How they are going is a journey, that is a different part. So we also as a human being, we have to first set the destiny, destiny saying that, okay, I have to travel to Krishna's loka. So this we have to understand, set the goal. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, his personal abode, having gone there, we will never come back in this material world. He guaranteeing that once you come to his place, you will never go back to that. So people who are going to US, they will never return. They will settle there only. Similarly like that. So ultimately the liberation means to fix our destination as Krishna Loka. So liberation means they'll think that, okay, all that responsibility I given up. Okay, I am retired. This is liberation. I have work. I don't have any responsibility. They think that is angle. No. The liberation means set our destination to Krishna's abode. That is the liberation. And travel in spiritual path which will lead us to the specific destination. So how to reach it? We have to take the spiritual path so that it will take us. It's just the other day I was telling that one person, one of my relatives, he is Hatha Yogi. He is just practicing and all. So I was telling that Hatha Yogis are the yogis are Brahmavadis and Jnanis are the Bhaktas are there. Three people are. All the people, the goal is going to back home, back to Godhead, Krishna's location. But the problem is, the other two people, they'll fall down. It is like taking a boarding in the Karnataka Express, taking a ticket up to Solapur. Thinking that, okay, the train is going, I'm also going. No, the TT will come, he'll throw you out of that once you cross the Solapur. Similarly, they are not understanding which path to follow. So this is an example, we have to understand as a devotee that what we are getting bhakti is the goal and the process is same. That means the bhaktas are taking ticket up to Delhi, whereas the other process people they are taking in between the station. That's enough. Thinking that the train is going, I'm going. No, train will go, but you will be thrown out of the train. So the travel in the spiritual path. So this is which leads us to a specific destination, Krishna Dham and Goloka Dham. So this we have to understand, destination, what we are supposed to keep. There are different planets in this material world, also in this spiritual world. Different planets are there. But all the places, none of the places in the material world, even though some of them belong to the upper planetary system. There are 14 planetary systems. Earth is the middle section, 7 above, 7 below. All this material planetary system, okay, having millions of time. So all the upper planet system, they have so much of facilities are there. They can live long, they can have all the facilities. What we have in the Earth, okay, better than us, they are having it. But none of the place is suitable for person who knows the nature of material existence. So once he knows that this is a temporary, that person, he will decide that okay, this is not. It's like if you ask to go to Pakistan, will anybody will go to Pakistan? So because they know the condition of that is, town. If somebody asks to go to Sri Lanka, they said no. Even if the free ticket is there, I don't want to. So this is the material existence. People aware of that. Okay, this is a temporary. So nobody will be trying to explore to go to that place. Similarly, in this 14 planet system, because why they say that none of the place suitable for person who knows the nature is there is a repeated birth, old age, disease, and death is there. So this all these characters there. Why we have to go? It is like a when you go there, they'll be throwing back. So there's no point in going and settling in those countries. Similarly, this 14 planet system don't even ever try that as I have to go to Indraloka, Surgaloka. It's a waste. After going there, again you have to come back here only because the death is inevitable. This is a sublime, most confidential and transcendental knowledge we get from Bhagavad Gita. This is a very confidential message is given in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. So, material body means anudarshana, repeated birth and death. So, it is stamped, okay. It is temporary, it is stamped, that's all. You cannot change. There is another quote also. When you come from the heavenly planet, when you come to this earth, there is a big signage board saying that Dukkalayam Asaswatam. Reading that, again we traveling, coming back, thinking that okay, I'll be happy here. Similarly, this is not a permanent place. We experience that the four things, whether in Brahmaloka or Maharaloka, whatever upper planet system, everything, this material world is in the place of repeated birth and death. So that is underlined in this sloka. So you cannot avoid. So there is no point in attempting for this. So many Brahmavadis, yes, I have to go and merge with the Lord. That's why I say that they have taken nothing but a ticket up to Solapur. Thinking that, okay, Brahmaloka means that is the abode of Krishna. No. There also they have to die. Whereas the spiritual world, no birth, old age, disease, suffering, no scarcity, no deterioration, is given in a confidential portion of the Vedic literature. So the Vedic literature very confidentially they are given. It's Gupta information. So unless we don't hear from the person Bhagavatam, we will not understand. That's why it is clearly said that if you go to spiritual world, you don't have repeated birth, you don't die, you don't get disease. Another class also I was saying Rama ruling way of Rama we do. When Rama was ruling, people are not getting aged also. They are not dying also. Unless they decide, yes, I want to die, they can die. Otherwise, they can be live evergreen. So ever youth also. So this is Rama way of ruling. So when Rama comes to this earthly planet, during his dynasty, those spiritual qualities were being transferred here. Imagine there is a permanent place, that is eternal. There is always there. Nobody is going to die. And no scarcity, no deterioration, nothing. You will not get old also. Nothing scarcity will be there. These are the believe in two particular scriptures. So confidential messages are available in Srimad-Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, where we will get this information and all. So we belong to Krishna's abode. We are not these places. Even Kanagadasa say that Allirodu Nammane, Illirodu Summane. That means that is the place where the Vaikuntha spiritual world is my house. Summane means I am simply staying here. Temporarily I come here. It's like a guest. You go to some guest house, hotel, resorts, come back. Because that is the one day you stay and you will come back. That is a temporary. Similarly, so many sages have talked about that this confidential message. In relation with the loving service with the Lord, having what we did we have forgotten that and somehow we came in this world. So we were not in this, we were there with Krishna only. Somehow we forgotten we want to be enjoyer mood. So Krishna created the earthly planet, he said, okay, you go to the earth and start enjoying it. But when we come here only, we know that this is not enjoying place, it's suffering place only. Now let us get out of, by making spiritual world is our destination. So now we understood this is not a permanent place. Let us get out of this place. So how we have to get out? By practicing the spiritual. So spiritual practice only will take us back to home, back to Godhead. So that is Goloka Dham. So it is like somebody, if you want to study abroad, then you will ask, approach the right person, a consultant. How do I go to US or UK? Which college I'll get destination? So these are the information we are gathering. How much it will be expense? All the knowledge you are gaining it. Similarly, to go to Goloka also, that all the acharyas, we have to hear from that procedure to go back to home, back to this. So spirituality is the only way we can go back to Godhead. Like Parishit Maharaj, and lessons of the Bhagavatam are applicable even for the great sages. So Bhagavatam scripture, not only for the human being, even the great sages also, they also have to die one day. Maybe they will be living for a longer life, yugas. So many yugas they pass through that. But still one day they have to die. So they are also taking this as a message and practicing it. It is like if you say that students, is any student directly appear for MBBS? No, he has to pass through the nursery class, all the things. Similarly, this is the fundamental information, Srimad-Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. They have to use that, practice it, and then only they can go back to home, back to Godhead. So the great sages, great personalities, sages are millions of times more mystic power. So even they have mystic power also. They learned, studied Vedas, so much of qualification they have. They are engaged in a severe austerity, long duration. Like other day we were discussing about Vishwamitra. He, even though he is a king, he did a severe austerity to get mystic power and all. So such a thing, we can't even imagine that. We can't see one day if you don't get one breakfast, we will say, oh, I am tired of. One day you go outing and come back, oh, I am tired of, I have to sleep more. So that is the condition where the question of losing the sleep, losing the food and doing austerity, it is not possible for us. The longer duration of life they have a better facility than what we have in there. But still they also know that when time comes, they have to quit this body. In spite of all these facilities, all the talent, knowledge, power, still they are also aware that yes, one day I have to quit the body. So it is set example for us also. We also should know that one day we have to quit this body. This is not a permanent. They should be prepared to leave the body and straight go to Krishna's abode. So this is very, very important. So yes, I know that I am going to die, but I should be ready that after death where I have to go. That is that. Suppose it is like bank employees and government employees, they will be transferable job. Every 3 years, they'll throw. So if you see their house, hardly they have a permanent items. They'll have less furniture, less things, because they know that after 3 years, they will be transferred to some other city, they have to travel on luggage. So this is how that. So they are prepared mentally and they know, they'll come to know that what is the next city they are going to transfer. So similarly, these sages also, they know all the things, they will be prepared for them. So how does this happen? So how they are getting prepared to go to Krishna's abode? We have to learn from the people who perfected the process of quitting this body. So first we have to learn. It's like a mother and daughter. So the daughter learns from mother how to cook nice prasadam. So similarly, we also should understand from the person who perfected their life the process of putting this body, going to Lord's abode. Parishit Maharaj is one such example, that best example. He is perfected person who prepared himself simply by hearing Srimad-Bhagavatam. It is very, very important. He understood, because all his life he was remembering Krishna. At the time of death also, he simply sat down and started hearing Srimad-Bhagavatam. Now we are also hearing Bhagavatam daily. This is a perfect process. So we have to take, hearing Bhagavatam is very, very important. That is the one which makes us back, remember, so that at the time of death we can remember Krishna, then we can go back to Godhead. All the activities of Suddha Bhakti centered around the devotional service to Krishna. So whatever Bhakti Prabhupada given, no, Suddha Bhakti, it all related to, right from the morning we get up at Mangalarti, we do Japa, we do deity worship, and hearing the Bhagavatam. Everything is centered around the Krishna only. Particularly the method that taught by our acharyas of present time. So Srila Prabhupada correct tailor made and he gave, okay, it's ready to eat food. So let us follow that, and we have to follow their footsteps. Whatever they given, how they also went back to home, back to Godhead, similarly we should follow the same path. Let us capture a little bit about Parasuram. Last class, at the end of the section, we were covered Parasuram. Let's recap what we learned, that the message from the Parasuram. Parasuram, there are three Rams are there in Dasavatara: Parasuram, Kodandaram, and Balaram. So these names, surname kind, these names also related to the weapon they used it for fighting. Parasuram used the axe. Okay, he just one axe, he went around the world 21 times and killed all the kings. Okay, such a power person. Kodandaram is our great Ramachandra. He used bow and arrow to kill all the demons. And Balram, he has a plow. With that, he was establishing the Dharma. When the Kurus, Kauravas, they insulted Krishna, he didn't waited. He just pulled that Ashnapura, just hacked with his plow only. Then they realized it's the power of Balaram. So they used the weapons to re-establish the Dharma. So that's why they got these names. So here Parasurama also did a severe penance. Why he has to? He is an incarnation of God only. But he there did a penance for us to learn that if you do something. So where he did it, Mahendra Parvat, it is between Bangalore and Udupi, there is a mountain belt is there, there only he did that. So now also there are temples, temple is there where we can see that. So it is not the stories, people say that it's all myth, Mahabharata is myth, Ramayana is myth. No, it's all myth. It's people lived and they proved it. They are shown their path for us. They guiding us how to go back to home, back to God. What are the do's and don'ts? Parasurama actions never be considered as a sinful activity. He killed 21 times that world, all the king. That is not a sinful activity. It is like any other person. No, at the end of their life, they undergo the severe penance to attain his atone his sins. So, like this thing, they selfly do the penance so that now they remove the come out of the sin. So just like normal people, they do, all the sages they do. Similarly, Parasurama also showed the example. Like Rama, how he listened to Dasaratha. He followed the Dasaratha's instruction that going to forest 14 years and so that Bharata can rule it. So he didn't reject it. No, I am the princess. I just got married. I have to live in palace only. Let Bharata only go to. He is not refusing like younger generation. If you see, they refute that father whatever instruction. If father says go and buy something and come, no, I cannot go. You only go and buy. So this Lord and the Lord's devotee, they set example how to obedient, how to follow the instruction. So Parasuram did the penances not for his purification. He is showing that when you do some mistake, sin, how to come out of sin by doing severe penance, austerity. Everything belongs to Krishna. On behalf of Krishna, this saintly people take the responsibility of carrying out their duty. So all this Lord's incarnation, Lord's devotee, they come here to execute the Lord's wish, whatever the assignment they given, of guiding it. So when they are here, they guide the people also. This is how we have to do it. How to live in this world and maintain with minimum requirements. So always we should not anchor more and more. Yes, I have to buy 10 houses, 20 plots. many people, if you see the people know, they're going on struggling, buying so much of loan, like we see that now all this name of the people like Malaya's son who was running, going on taking so much of loan, investing, buying so many planes, so lavish life, thinking that it is not that way. Ultimately, he is hiding himself from the world. So these sages are showing that how to live a simple life, minimum requirement for the body to survive. At the same time, cultivate the business of oneself. Ultimate goal. Our goal is the ultimate goal is going back from battle. This we have to do that. That's what the lesson we are learning from that. He is rightful owner of. Actually, Parasuram, he killed all the king, so he is the owner of all the properties. But after getting all the properties, he is not enjoying it. He gave to uh, Kashyapa Muni. So that means this property is not belong to us. It is Krishna's property, and a righteous person he should hand it over to them. So that is the mood message we have to learn from Parasuram. So because we have got something, we should not attach to that. See, even though he got all the world property, he didn't got attached. He just gave it to them. The Parasurama is a Brahmana who's he's expert in Dhanurveda, in the military science. So whatever he learned, he knows. He was passing to Dronacharya, and in turns Dronacharya passed the message to Kauravas and Pandavas. They all learned from him. So that means even the knowledge you have to share it with two others. Nothing, okay, I have got this much of knowledge, I don't want to share. No. Everything, nothing is belonged to us. Even knowledge is given by Krishna only. So it is his property, you have to pass it on to next generation. This is a message you have to learn. In order to obey the instructions of Krishna, the righteous people should rule the kingdom. So how the kingdom should be ruled is the king should be a righteous person. He should hand it over to the people. Only the people will be guided and actually benefited from the rule of such righteous people. Even the people will be guided. If a rogue is ruling, why Pakistan is so much of disturbance, there is no quality people. The head of the government is not a quality people. They bribe, they loot. Even Sri Lanka also same thing happened. The ruler had a deal with China and taken so much of bribe, and he accumulated and put whole country to, he sold it to China. So Chinese, what happened, they grabbed the land and they made everybody pauper. So that means if the government is not, the administrator is not a righteous person, the whole society is not guided properly and everybody turn into poor people. So that's why. So here also what happened is, after Kurukshetra war, Yudhishthira Maharaj, the whole war was done to give the property to Yudhishthira Maharaj. Sages are always available to instruct, guide Kshatriyas. So all these sages know the duty is to guide the Kshatriyas. They are Brahmanas. If the Krishnas represent as a supreme personality of Godhead, definitely one must respect the pure devotee like Arjuna also. Here in this purport, Prabhupada wrote this as Parasuram, even though he is the incarnate of Krishna, he also respected Arjuna. He meets the Arjuna and he gives the respective thing. That means even the devotee of the Krishna also to be respected. That's what the message he is conveying. Because if someone commits the offenses at the lotus feet of Krishna, one may beg pardon. So if somebody offended Krishna, he can ask forgiveness from Krishna. Krishna forgives. But if someone do offense to Krishna's Bhakta, okay, devotee of Krishna, then Krishna will not pardon. Okay, even if he is asking for forgiveness, Krishna will punish. So much of importance is there. Not only the Krishna, they should be respect as much as like Krishna. It's very important we have to understand. Srimad-Bhagavatam 11th canto, Krishna says to Uddhava, you have to respect the pure devotee more than me. He says that more than me, you have to respect my devotees. My devotee is more worshipable than me. How much importance he is giving to the devotee, Krishna's devotee. A devotee is more worshipable than all the demigods put together. He is valuing that even the devotee, one devotee is equal to all the demigods put together. So much of thing. Here they say that spiritual masters meant here as acharyas. In this sloka they are saying it in the Krishna says, spiritual master is non-different from me. He has to be respected, sum total of all the demigods. He is very exalted position. The Parasrama glorified Arjuna. Amba, Ambalika and Ambika, in the Mahabharata there is a story about that. And the two of them, they married to Vichitra Visha, that Ambika and Ambalika. Whereas Amba was not got married, and Bhishma kidnapped all the three ladies and for this marriage. But Parasuram told Bhishma Dev to marry Ambika, because as per Veda, the chastity of the lady will marry person who kidnaps her. So here, quoting that, he asked Bhishma to marry, but Bhishma taken vow to be a bachelor. So Bhishma learned the military science from, also he learned from the Parasuram only. He is his guru also. The teacher is pleased when his disciple, having learned of military science, actually display courage and valor and skill. Here also all the gurus, they'll be very much pleased if their disciples are preaching the what a message they taught you. That we have to understand that this is a lesson we have to. Nowadays we also become Bhakti Vichar leaders and other leaders, but we should also know how to appreciate our upcoming devotee who conveys the message what Srila Prabhupada also says in Parampara. The teacher is pleased when his disciple having learned. So this is a message for us. Next comes this great sage name called Utatya. Utatya, you can hear it. One of the three sons of Maharishi Angira. He was a spiritual master of Maharaja Mandatta. He married to Bhadra, the daughter of the Soma, that is moon god. Varuna kidnapped his wife Bhadra, and to retaliate of the offense of the god of water, he drank all the water of this world. So here also there is a message for us. Uttata was Devatas means they have the divine qualities. So that's why they called Devatas. Sometimes due to the influence of material contamination, material influence, and also material desire for enjoying material things, because of that they fall down. So Devatas. Because the daughter of Soma was very beautiful, Varuna, in order to satisfy the beauty of the woman, he kidnapped the wife of the great sage Utatya. So Varuna is is the controller of the water body. Whereas when the Utatya got anger, he emptied the earthly planet, all the waters in the earthly planet. They have so much of mystic power. By severe austerity, they got so much, so they can do this way also. But the message for us is this is not a proper etiquette. Okay, using the mystic power to take the revenge of another person, other devata who made a mistake. because Varna did some mistake. So this type of all our austerity should not be used for punishing somebody like that. This type of qualities are settled by some. This type of the quarrels are settled by the senior people like Brahma, Shiva. Sometimes even Vishnu interferes in that. So Devatas who are ideal in their character, behavior, carry out their duties, administration behalf of the Vishnu. There are good people also, the Devatas, they carry out these things. But they are empowered personality to rule the entire world. But sometimes they are carried out by the lower modes of Rajo and Tamagunas. That's what when intervention of the elderly person is actually meant to correct the mistakes. So Devatas, whenever they make a mistake, the elderly people interfere and they correct it. And also they repent and rejoice that mistake, and they understand properly and they will not repeat it. When they corrected, they accept their fault and they started corrected by stand corrected. But demons never be corrected their mentality. So there is a huge difference between that demigods and demons. Here the demons are their behavior is totally opposite of demigods. Their mentality is such that they can never think they are wrong. First and foremost, they never think that whatever they did is wrong. They never think. They don't care about for the superior instructions of the great personality, even for a Vishnu himself. So they never care and they never listen also. They are too much puffed up. They are too much arrogant. They are too much proud. So the demonic characters are given in the 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So we can understand from that how the demons behave. So we also can see in our society also people sometimes they behave like demons only. So now you will understand why they behave like that. They are remorseful for all the sins they committed. They never retaliate. So here, just to recap that what you missed out is demons and demigods, we are comparing them. Demigod also make mistake because of the material influences sometimes. Okay, they want material influences, material contamination, desire to enjoy materiality, they fall down. But a superior like Brahma, Shiva or Vishnu, they go counsel them, they correct them. So they understand the mistake and repented for that and they will not repeat. So this is the qualities of, that's why they call demigods. Whereas the demons also make mistake. But here their problem, the demons is, they never listen. They listen to the superiors, even to the Vishnu also. Even they will not accept that they made a mistake. And why all the things? Because they are too much of proud, too much puffed up, too much of arrogant. So they don't care type people. So that's why they call demons. Okay. These qualities are mentioned in the 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita also. It's there. What are the demons qualities? So here, therefore, sometimes the only way how to purify them is the Supreme Lord or his devotee or the representative of Lord, they come and kill them. Okay, demons are killed like Ravana, Hiranyakashipu. So many people are killed there so that they will be purified. This is the only way to purify them. Because it is a punishment is required. Sometimes in the school, no children too much of misbehave, the teacher has to punish. So similarly, the Lord punishes the demons so that they will get purified. So this is the message from this pastime of Uttatya sage. Then comes the next stage, Medati, an old sage of Ur, an assembly member of the heavenly king Indradev. His son is Kanva Muni, who brought up the Sakuntala in the forest. Part 1 section we were discussing about Sakuntala. She is a daughter of Menaka and Vishwamitra. So when Vishwamitra understood that he is fallen down from the penance, austerity, he was practicing yogi. So he left the baby there only along with Menaka. Menaka also said, "Thank you very much. I come, my service is done. I'm going back to my Indraloka." She also left the baby in the forest. She also left. Then that baby, this Kanva Muni brought up there. She is very beautiful, one of the beautiful girl in this world. So such a beautiful girl, Sakuntala. He promised to heavenly planet by he was promoted to heavenly planet by strictly following the principle of retired life, Vanaprasaka. So these sages also, they get promotion also to the higher planet system. So that is what is highlighted. The Devatas are the guiding by the great saintly person. So they also get guidance. So any ruler or any responsible person in administration is always guided by sages. So the sages are they are the guiding. Many times Prabhupada has repeated, the king has to be guided by the sages. Why? The qualities of the sages who never occupy any post of the ruling or controlling or administration. That is what. So it is like if you want to advise somebody, you should not be inside the problem. You should be outside the problem so that you can advise them. So similarly, these sages, they never occupy any post of ruling or controlling or administration. So we have to learn a lesson from this, how to advise or how to judge a problem. We should be outside the problem, but also they are well versed of science. That means they are fully knowledgeable. It is not that without knowledge they are going on giving advice to the king. No, they are fully knowledgeable person. So they guide, they instruct, advise, but also they never accept any salary, because nowadays people expect for any advice. If you go to lawyer, along with the advice, he also collects the Lakshmi from you. But these great sages who are in the assembly of kings, they never take any salary, never take any remuneration, don't expect any material benefit. They do it as a seva. So that is how the guide. So whenever you come across to counseling some devotee or outsiders, you should not expect anything written from them. So you should give a good advice by understanding the problem. Following the Varnasana Dharma is very, very beneficial. That is what is there. So here the sages taken Vanaprasada. So Varnasana Dharma is very important. That will elevate you, elevate you to a higher state of life. The goal of such elevation is to come to the point of achieving the ultimate liberation of going back to Godhead. So Varnasana Dharma is very scientifically tailor-made. The Brahmanas are the guiding people to the other three category of people, how to get Krishna conscious, how to elevate them from one stage to next stage. So this is how it is done. So that's how this Medati also he promoted himself to the higher planetary system by practicing Vanaprasada. But those who adopt the gradual process of elevation, they have to graduate, go from earthly planet to higher planet. If you practice other than Varnasana Dharma, like yogic process and the jnani process, you will be promoted from one stage to one planet to other planet. It is a slow process. And also it's a step-by-step process. You cannot bypass it. You cannot go to Goloka directly. You have to pass through the cycle because the process itself is very systematic. But the Bhakti Yoga process is that directly you can go back to Godhead by completely concentrating on Krishna alone. This is given in Bhagavad Gita chapter 8. So it is clearly say that one who remembers at the time of death, such person, when he quits his body, he will attain my abode at shelter of my lotus feet. Krishna is clearly guaranteed given that if you at the time of death, if you remember, you will come to my abode. So bhakti is the only process directly from the death, directly from the earthly planet, you can go to the Goloka. Whereas other process of yoga, Ashtanga yoga and Jnana yoga, you have to go elevate from one planet to other planet. So it takes a longer time. Those who don't know that about the bhakti yoga process, not having guidance from the spiritual master who is expert in bhakti yoga, such people have to follow the gradual process. So you see that yesterday also in the yatra, I happened to meet a group of people. They were also started this spiritual yatra along with me. I was following ISKCON process. They were just before ISKCON came to Puram. Just one sage came from North India. I couldn't. It starts with nice place. So he came to this school, Sikh college. There's a big auditorium. He called the entire care from all the Matajis, Prabhujis. He said, I'm your guru from effective from today. You are all my Shishyas. Mass, he initiated everybody. That's all. Everybody got one Diksha and they are all chanting some mantra of what he taught them. Even today they are practicing. I don't know what to tell. I have met so many times, so much. They are not ready to that. They are telling that I have already initiated. How can I chant your mantra? I don't want to chant. So, maybe that guru is teaching something which is a gradual process. They have to sacrifice so many births to go to the Krishna Loka. That they are not understanding. But they come for our yatras, they want enjoyment. Okay? But they don't want to take bhakti. How to come back to God. So next Rishi will understand that Devala is also very important Rishi. A great authority like Narada Muni and Vyasadeva. His good name is on the list of authorities mentioned in Bhagavad Gita when Arjuna acknowledged Lord Krishna is the Supreme Person of Godhead. He met Maharaj Yudhishthira after the battle of Kurukshetra and he was the elder brother of Daumya. Daumya also a very famous name of the Rishi. The priest of Pandava family. So Daumya is a priest for them. Like the Kshatriyas, he also allowed his daughter to select her own husband in Swayamvara meeting. So earlier days, kings know whenever the daughter is matured, they call for a Swayamvara. Even the Sita Mata also Swayamvara conducted and Draupadi also Swayamvara conducted. They used to do that, kings. Similarly, this Daumya, Devala, for her daughter, he called for a Swayamvara where the ceremony, all the bachelor son of the rishis were invited. According to some, he is not a Asita Devala. There are two different Devalas. Like Kapila, we have Kapila and Karmi Kapila also there. Then other Kapila Muni also there. So he is a atheistic Kapila, we call them. So long time back we read about that in the Bhagavatam class, I explained it. So like this, many times we should not misguided by the similar names. In the Bhagavatam it is repeats. So we should be really understand which Rishi they are talking about to get the right message. Krishna was accepted as a Supreme Personality Godhead by the great saintly person, Asista, Devala and Vyasa. So they are all in the list. Devala was name is mentioned because he is one of the authority of this. So He's such an elevated person. That's why Arjuna mentioned it. Suppose you refer something, no, so and so person is a very famous person you mentioned. That means he's authority. Like government, okay, who gave this? Okay, another example, similar, you can take it up is, okay, like your property, okay, you register in government office, but that is valid one because government is authorized. So authorities, if they give document, it is then instead of orally telling these properties belong to you, nobody will accept. So Devala, as mentioned, why Arjuna say that Krishna is supreme person Godhead, Devala told Devala is authority like Vyasadeva and Asista. So that's why we also should accept it. And next is Bharadwaj. Bharadwaj also is also very important sage. He is one of the 7 rishis was present at the time of the birth ceremony of Arjuna. So Bharadwaj also if you go to Ahobalam, you can see the Bharadwaj rishi visited that place. The powerful rishi sometimes undertook severe penance on the shore of the Ganges, and his ashram is still celebrated at the Prayag Gatama. So it is learned that this rishi, while taking the bath in Ganges, happened to meet Gritakchi, one of the beautiful society girl of heaven, and thus he discharged semen which was kept and preserved in the earthen pot, and from which Drona was born. So it is not, incubation is not a new scientific thing. Those days itself, no, the semens are kept in a earthen pot and it has been used for the progeny. So now you know that Bharadwaj son only Drona. So Dronacharya is a son of Bharadwaj Muni. Others says that Bharadwaj, a father of Drona, is a different person from Maharishi Bharadwaj. So there is always a conflict is going on. He was a great devotee of Brahma. Once he approached Dronacharya and requested him to stop the battle of Kurukshetra. So in this Rishi's introduction also, many Rishis before Kurukshetra was started, they went and approached and they told different acharyas like Dronacharya, even Dhritarashtra also they advised him, don't go with that, you have to respect Pandavas, because they are aware that the massacre of thing going to happen, how much of people going to die if the war happens. There is nothing, there is no world war happen equal to that Kurukshetra war. So many people died. So even also Bharadwaj Muni also he advised him not to do the Kurukshetra war. Next comes Gautama Rishi, one of the 7 great sages of universe. The Sardavan Gautama was one of his sons. The persons of Gautama Grita, the dynasty, today are either his family descendant or his disciple succession. So Gautama Gotra, they say, whenever you come to the temple, they tell that we lost Gotra. Pujari will ask Gotra, they'll say the Gautama Gotra. There is 2 types of Gautama Gotra people are there. One is a descendant of his own family tree, Brahmana culture. So Brahmana, if a Brahmana comes and says the Gotra of Gautama Gotra, that means his family tree of Gautama Rishi. And also his disciples like Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, also they are disciple of Gautama Rishi. If they also claim as a Gautama, they are the family tree of these people. Suppose now you can, other than Brahmana, if say that I heard about that. Whenever I do puja, they say that they are not a Brahmanas, but they claim that's a Gautama Gotra. But they are normal people only. Telugu people have heard about that. So they are the descendant of their disciples. So he was the husband of the famous Ahalya, it's very important. Ahalya was that who turned to be stone when Indradev, the king of heaven, molested her. Ahalya was delivered by the Ramachandra, Lord Ramachandra, and Gautama was the grandfather of Kripacharya, one of the hero of the battle of Kurukshetra. So there are few points. One is we let us understand about Ahalya, and also Kripacharya also will understand. Every universe is a position of Sapta Rishis. So if you astrologer, if you see, astronomy, so they will tell that all the rishis, okay, so they occupy these planets. They elevate their position. So by severe austerity, they elevate to that position. Like you do IS, IPS exam and all, so you become a government servant who advises to the minister. Similarly, the penance they do, they get that position of that. They have their own planet, Sapta Rishis, part of the universe. So in Sapta Rishis Mandala, Gautama Rishi is one of the sage. So that planetary system is also one of the prominent Rishi. Gautama Rishis, every Gotra starts from the Rishis. So Gotras also start from them. That's why I was repeating that. Whenever we ask Gotra, they say that. And Ahalya was very important because Ahalya was delivered by the Lord Ramachandra. Among the Devatas, again here also we are repeating that. They are envious always. Because of why they are envious? Because of material contamination, they want to enjoy the material opulences. So they fall down. The material influence is on them. So much of material desire to enjoy, hence there is always an envious. So envious is the quality when you anchoring for that, means material opulences. You want that, then you are envy it up. Krishna strongly, out of 6 anathas, Krishna strongly don't tolerate that envious. All other anathas, 7 anathas, he will tolerate. If you are envious, he never tolerate. So we should be very careful on envious. She was a chaste lady. Ahalya was a chaste lady and she refused Indra when he approached her. The other wife, what Veda says is, other wife should be respected as a mother. Okay, but whereas because of these devatas, because of influence, though they try to enjoy that. So similarly, Indra should not have approached Ahalya, but who she is? She is a wife of Gautama Rishi. But Indra forced her to molest her. Because of her chastity, she got the power and she turned herself to a stone. So the chastity ladies have the power also. It is not only the rishis who do the severe austerity, they get the power. Even as chastity lady also, she can do all the mystic things also. So like not only Ahalya, in Mahabharata there are so many people are there, chastity ladies. Even Vedavati, she is Vedavati is Sita's other form. That what do you call that? Nakili. Okay, she is getting exchanged when the fire. When Sita enters the fire, no, that is Vedavati enters and Sita comes out of that fire. So like that, when Ravana want to kidnap, it is he kidnapped Vedavati, not the Sita, because Sita cannot be touched. Lord's concert cannot be touched by anybody. It is so powerful. So Vedavati got that. She is a chastity lady. She also cursed Ravana when she was meditating to get married to Vishnu, and he attracted. He was crossing that place from the Himalaya. He was going back to Lanka. He saw that Vedavati is a beauty. He comes and disturbs her, and she cursed her. I was doing penance to get married. Since you disturbed it, I am the person for your death. That's why Vedavati, only because of her going to Lanka, he is killed. So even chastity is so powerful. Nowadays, all these younger generation don't know that what is chastity. They mingle with boys, they run around. they live together. They know the value of chastity of a lady. So this is a message we have to learn from this Bhagavatam sloka. But Indra could not do no longer to any harm to her. Then she delivered by Lord Ramchandra when he was Ramchandra was exiled. So next come to Kripacharya. Kripacharya was fighting on the side of Kauravas. Kripacharya was part of that 11 Akshagunis. He is also one of the Akshaguni who was handling it, Kripacharya. But he was a brother-in-law of Dronacharya. Dronacharya has a sister, Kripi. So he married, Kripacharya married to her, and so they are relatives. Kripacharya didn't die in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Only few people did not die in Kurukshetra war. Kripacharya also won. And later what happened, they requested Kripacharya to be the guide for Yudhishthira Maharaj. He accepted the post and he was leading that thing. Even though there is his opposition side, okay, he was in Kaurava side. But after the war, there is no enmity. Generally, these low-grade politicians, one day BJP, another day is Congress, they fight. Okay, so that enmity is there. So, but in good old days, we have to learn it. It is the duty they perform. War is a duty for them, but there's no enmity. He is given right guidance to, because he knows that Yudhishthira is an opposition person, not misguiding. He is a good guider. So this is what we have to understand from this moral message. There is no enmity when they fight in the war of. He is a lineage from he is a grandson of Gautama Rishi. Kripacharya is a grandson of Gautama Rishi. So we study when Gautama Rishi we were discussing, we were also highlighted this point. And last but not least is Maitri Rishi. Maitri Rishi is the great Rishi of yore. He was a spiritual master of Vidura and a great religious authority. He advised Dhritarashtra to keep good relation with Pandavas. Duryodhana disagreed and thus was cursed by him. He met Vyasadeva and had a religious discourse with him. So this is very important in our Bhagavatam because Maitri Rishi and Vidura, the discussion is in Bhagavatam, it is there, question answer section. So most of the Srimad-Bhagavatam, good portion of the Srimad-Bhagavatam describing the conversation between Maitri Rishi and Vidura. So it is happened before even Sukadeva Goswami and Parishit Maharaj meet. Okay, so that's why it was situated, it is cited in Sukadeva Goswami, where when Sukadeva Goswami was reciting Srimad Bhagavatam to Parishit Maharaj put some questions. For that, Sukadeva Goswami, he referred that discussion between Maitri Rishi and Vidura, the same question was there. That question, what answer is given, that answer he gives here. So, this is called the Parampara system. Suppose you ask some question, I should not tell my own intelligent answer to you. No, Bhagavatam, the question answer should be, it has to be referred by the previous acharyas. There is like a Prabhupada's nice book, Perfect Question, Perfect Answer. In that book, there is no question you can think other than in that book. Similarly, that you cannot in the Bhagavatam question section, you cannot think a question which is out of the subject itself. Because all the questions are being asked, all the questions have been answered. So we have to follow the answer from the parampara only. So this is very, very good message for the devotees whenever they speak. Nobody has to manufacture any answer for any question. So speaker need not to manufacture any answer for this. All question answers are there in Bhagavatam only. The entire body of spiritual knowledge is descended from Krishna. Why everything is given? Because it has come from Krishna only. The Krishna instructed Brahma and Brahma to Narada, Narada to Vyasadeva, Vyasadeva to Sukadeva Goswami. So that it is coming lenient thing. Of course, Vidura himself, Mahabhavat. Vidura is not a normal person. He is Mahabhavat. He is a learned. He is very highly learned person. And from one of the things, Vidura learned from Brihaspati. His guru is Brihaspati. He learned from him and learned one of these. He is also one of the Mahajan. Also, out of 12 Mahajan, he is also one of the Mahajan to teach us how we have to make enquiries from the right authority. From Vidura, we have to understand what type of question, how to ask the question also. The right source, you have to ask the right source also, not somebody passerby ask some Vedic question and all. No, that right person, right question, right time you should ask. Because Brahma Vidya, it is called, what Srimad-Bhagavatam says, Brahma Vidya. You can't study Brahma Vidya on your own. Okay, get some knowledge or simply studying study of meditation. You cannot do yoga to understand Brahma Vidya or by, that means nothing but yogic way or the jnani way, you cannot understand Brahma Vidya. Bottom line is that you have to hear from the self-realized soul. So only Bhagavatam has to be hear from the self-realized soul. There is no substitute for that. Clearly is here. So Bhaktas, they have to hear from the Acharyas. So that is called Bhakti. The Vidura heard from the Maitreya Rishi who is self-realized soul. Vidura also, because Krishna, actually first Vidura asked Krishna only. Because Krishna is younger than Vidura, he don't want to preach Bhagavatam. He said that you approach Maitreya Rishi, he will teach you. So that's why when he goes for this thing, Yatra, he meets in Rishikesh. There the conversation happens. This conversation is described in the later part of Srimad-Bhagavatam. We will all be going through this, all the questionnaires and all. When Dhritarashtra was planning to kill the Pandavas, actually it is a plan of the Duryodhana. But as a Dhritarashtra, he didn't stop that his son doing nonsense. He encouraged him. That's why that blame comes to Dhritarashtra. This is when Maitreya Rishi also came to know, he is intervened and he advised Dhritarashtra also not to ill-treat sons of your brothers and don't ill-treat them and give good, have a nice relationship. And they also struggled to stop the Kurukshetra war by giving advices. Yantra Srimad-Bhagavatam ki jai. So with this part 3, we have covered all the rishis, the great qualities and what the message they conveying to bhaktas like us, practitioners. Sorry, we are just practitioners. Hare Krishna. Any question, any doubt? Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, tell me.
Please tell me the Tulsi Maharani story.
Tulsi Maharani, it's a big